which was constituted on Thursday, the 6th of February 2020 by the President of the Senate, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Dr. Ahmad Lawan, CON. Accept my congratulations, distinguished colleagues, for appointments well deserved as members of this very important committee, saddled with the responsibility of amending the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in this ninth Senate. This calls for dedication, patriotism, and selfless sacrifice to our fatherland. The need for constitutional amendment lies at the heart of constitutional theory and practice. Constitutionalism implies that the fundamental rules for effective exercise of state power and protection of individual rights should be stable and predictable and not subject to easy change or whims of individuals. This is most central in our noble and continuous pursuit of the general will. It is for this reason that the drafters of our Constitution deliberately made the process of constitutional amendment very painstaking. Yet, the greater need to improve democratic governance or adjust to the ever-changing political, economic, and social realities has made it necessary for our nation to embark on this journey once again. These changing times have brought new challenges, and today in our country, we are faced with increased insecurity, slow economic growth, rising poverty, and a poor political culture, among others. These challenges that will define the way Nigerians will live in the 21st century have continued to agitate the minds of our people. It is against this background that the need for constitutional reforms has once again become necessary and imperative. It is worthy of note that because of the need to incorporate the interests, wishes, and aspirations of the people from various ethno-social and ethno-religious backgrounds, we shall embark on far-reaching consultations with Nigerians across the 6 geopolitical zones to aggregate their positions on current issues that require legislative action by way of constitutional reforms. Over the years, our people appear to have been polarized along different fault lines, which often make it impossible to reach the much-needed consensus in some critical areas where fundamental changes are required. We must guard against this if we are to succeed. There is thus the need for constitutional amendment that will be consistent with the agitations and aspirations of our people. This again is the whole essence of the general will. Our task will be to find a consensus through compromise in order to meet the ever-changing needs of our people. We must understand the fact that behind our diversity are people united by common challenges of insecurity, unemployment, and a good hope for a better future. This provides us the opportunity to focus on those issues that unite us. It is only by so doing that we can guarantee success and leave for our children a better, fairer, and more just Nigeria than the one we met. As we set out to perform this all-important role that we are called upon to play at this critical stage of our nation's development, let me appreciate the effort of the President of the Senate in putting together this membership of this committee. The diligence, hard work, and foresight that he brought to bear are commendable. Mr. President, will appreciate the importance and level of responsibility that you attach to the work of this committee. We will not disappoint you. I also have no doubt in my mind that this committee will meet the desires and expectations of the Nigerian people. This is because at the end, what unites us is far greater than what divides us. In carrying out this national assignment, this committee will no doubt consider the alteration of the 6th schedule of the Constitution to make provision for new items, the establishment of the National and State Houses of Assembly Pre-Election Matters Tribunal, Governorship Pre-Election Matters Tribunal, and Presidential Pre-Election Matters Tribunal, including time limits for the disposal of all pre-election matters before the conduct of the general elections. We will also consider the need for devolution of power, full local government fiscal autonomy, full autonomy of the judiciary in the area of administration of justice, youth inclusiveness in governance, gender parity, or affirmative action, as some may call it. This is by no means an exhaustive list. The committee will also consider input from stakeholders and different interest groups across the country. In addition to this, Mr. President, we will consider the recommendations of the 2014 Constitutional Conference and the Governor Nasir El-Rufai-led Committee on Restructuring, put together by the APC party. We would also liaise with our counterparts in the House of Representatives, the State Houses of Assembly, to collaborate and build consensus with all stakeholders to ensure synergy. Development partners will also play pivotal roles through council, workshops, conferences, and interactions. The partnership roles of the executive and judiciary and their invaluable contributions cannot be overlooked, as it will enhance efficient and successful outcomes. Finally, it will suffice to say that an assignment of this magnitude demands diligence and commitment. So as we embark on this very important legislative assignment, let us use this opportunity to build consensus on constitutional issues that will impact the lives of the people of our great country, Nigeria. We must get it right for the good of our people and the unity of our great country. The Nigerian people deserve no less. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you very much. Address of welcome by the Deputy President of the Senate, who is also the Chairman of the Senate Constitution Review Committee. Next on the program is for His Excellency the President of the Senate to please approach the podium and inaugurate this committee. Your Excellency.
The Deputy President of the Senate, also the Chairman of the Constitution Review Committee, Senator Ovie Omo-Agege, Principal Officers of the Senate present, very distinguished Senators, members of the Constitution Review Committee, other members of the National Assembly present, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today is surely another important day in our constitutional amendment efforts as a Senate. When we constituted a 56-man steering and Constitution Review Committee last Thursday, we had indeed stepped on another level once again. This level was to ensure we continued with 9 National Assembly's fast pace of work. We have reflected this in the reversal of our improper and irregular and undesirable budget cycle and in the swift consideration and passage of other crucial bills. We are now resolved to re-examine the Constitution consistent with our legislative agenda and in tandem with the earnings of Nigerians. You recall, and you will agree with me, that reviewing the Constitution is an arduous task. It requires painstaking consultation, dialogue, and healthy debates. We expect consultations with public organizations and the civil society. These include the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as the vehicle for elections, civil society organizations, the academia, the media, and indeed the Nigerian citizen. This assignment needs a great deal of time, resources, and expert ideas. This is so because constitutional reviews are not everyday exercises. On the few occasions that it becomes necessary, we have the responsibility to ensure that inputs and outputs are not just exhaustive, but should also be wide-ranging and effective. When this process is foolproof, we can then be rest assured that it will take a longer time before new realities possibly trigger demands for amendments. The Senate is mindful of the central role of the Constitution as the grand norm of our democracy. The continued success of our democracy is reasonably dependent on a well-thought-out Constitution. Though Though no constitution can be faultless, mostly because social dynamics are unpredictable, but a good review can increase its functionality and then decrease social agitations. This will not only ensure national harmony, but also guarantee the greater peace and progress of our country. As statesmen, we surely have another noble task in our hands, and it is also a task that I believe my distinguished colleagues and indeed the National Assembly will excel at carrying out. In constituting this committee, we needed to ensure a good representation of all parts of the country to protect all anxieties. With distinguished Deputy Senate President as chairman and all principal officers, one representation from every state of the Federation, and another two sets of senators from the 6 geopolitical zone regions as members, the composition of the committee is surely rock solid. True representation of the Senate. And for emphasis, all the female senators are members of the Constitutional Review Committee. To protect the gender. The single senators who are not committee members are also free to contribute. Though we expect our sister house to make its own composition, I am confident that this will create another opportunity for our dear country. We do not just envisage a country where citizens will feel fulfilled, but also one where happiness, peace, and prosperity will come with it. We should ensure that our economy will continue to be prosperous, and our political process should be seamless and characterized with noble causes of service, patriotism, and nationalism. An enhanced constitution is a good starting point, and it is the reason why we call on all stakeholders to be involved. Our contributions, submissions, and viewpoints are the materials the committee will feed on. Let me take this opportunity to appeal to all those who feel very strongly about any issue that requires constitutional review to come to this committee, make its case, so that we are able to capture their issues rather than talking elsewhere. This is where it happens. The constitution committees of the National Assembly in the Senate and the House are the sole responsible organizations or committees that can deal with constitutional amendments at the moment. So we should take opportunity and advantage of the existence of this committee. I therefore urge all citizens, groups and organizations to be involved, so together we shall make our country a pride of Africa and a beacon for humanity. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate my distinguished colleagues, members of this committee, for being part of history. I wish you all success in this assignment. On this note, I hereby inaugurate this committee for the good people of our country and to the glory of Almighty God. God bless all of us. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The committee is after 2 counts. 1, 2. Rise.